What is up, kids? It's me, ChillC. Welcome back to my channel and the first ever podcast I am presenting on my channel, the Chill With Me podcast. Today I have with me the lovely Tara.
Hi.
And Jim.
Hello.
Today, we're going to be talking about something very special, how crappy Disney sequels are. Specifically today, we're going to be talking about the Hunchback of Notre Dame 2, The Secret of the Bell, even though, now that I'm looking at the Wikipedia page, the actual art on the cover does not say The Secret of the Bell anywhere. It is called The Secret of the Bell, except...
Subtitles don't matter.
We don't need that. The Hunchback of Notre Dame 2. The vocal cast, I believe, is all the same. Tom... how do you say his name? Tom Hulsey? Hulsey?
I don't know.
Jennifer Love Hewitt is Madeline.
New.
That's new.
That's a new character, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
We'll talk about Madeline, or Madeleine. Is it Madeline or Madeleine? I could not even pay attention enough.
It's spelled Madeleine, but they say Madeline in 90%.
They can't even get... They say Quasimodo fine, but Michael as Sarouche, who is also a new character. Demi Moore as Esmeralda. I believe that's the same, right?
Same, yeah.
Yeah. Calvin Klein as Captain Phoebus.
Kevin Klein, not Calvin Klein.
Calvin Klein is Captain Phoebus. I can read. Haley Joel Osment as Zephyr.
Oh, that's Haley Joel Osment?
Oh, poor thing.
Okay.
And then Jason Alexander, Jane, Jim, Joe, Lala. Pretty much the same, everybody. This one was made in 2001. The release date, though, was moved to March 19, 2002. I can't believe this is a 2000s movie. I don't know. I feel like they really went
the early
south.
2000s was a whole different era.
Yeah.
18 years ago, this thing
like,
aged like fine milk.
Oh, like milk left out in the sun, and like a fly flew into it and it curdled, and then it flew into like a lemonade.
Side note: blueberry milk, delicious.
Blueberry milk? What the hell is blueberry milk?
Wicked good.
Wicked good. It's wicked good, kid. So all of us have watched this movie. I don't know if you guys have seen The Hunchback of Notre Dame 2. Don't. We're gonna tell you why. So initially, when turning on the movie, the first thing you noticed that I think annoyed Tara...
5 seconds into the film.
5 seconds into the film, and she called me as the film was starting to tell me how pissed she was about this. Why don't you explain what you experienced?
Okay, so I watched the original just to get like a refresh and also like compare and contrast. So I watched the original, and it's like beautiful animation. Like the colors are great, and like the detail is great. And then 5 seconds in, like the birds happen, and like we go over the town, and I'm like, I call Chelsea and I say, who animated this thing? It's like, so I explained it to her like this. You know, all of those things where you're like shopping online and it's like what you expect from the ad versus like what you actually get, and it's garbage what you get. It's like that from the first film to the second film as far as the animation's concerned. It's lame. It's like, there's no detail.
Zero effort. The background characters, like, in the first one, the background characters, they actually use, like, CGI to give them all different, like, motions and faces. This one is just, like, plain white clay people molding together with palettes of, like, pastel colors.
Yeah, it's like they left it out in the rain.
Like, the guy was, like, running to get all of his frames, and he tripped and fell in the mud. He's like, crap, it's duty day! He's like, they won't notice, it'll be fine. He's, like, blowing on it. Like, oh, dude. And it was so flat, because the background was solid. Like, there was no... It was literally like...
It was like Caillou.
Yeah, it was like Caillou, where it was like sketch pencil in the background and then animation on front.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, that was the initial...
It's like they just reused the sceneries from the first one. That's why it looked so polished. But if Wish made Disney movies,
yeah.
This is it.
Oh, God.
You know?
It was so bad. And then we get to what this plot is about, and it goes around this festival that's happening that is not a thing, not a real thing.
The Love Festival. It's not called the Love Festival.
What's it called? Hold on. Le Jour d'Amour.
Is that basically the Love Festival?
Yeah, the Love Festival. It's the Love Festival. So, like, in the first movie, it's like they had a festival of fools, which made sense because we needed a reason. Can you put it on vibrate? We needed a reason for Quasimodo to be able to go into town.
Right.
He had been waiting for the Festival of Fools, building his courage. He wanted to integrate using this festival, which kind of makes sense as a festival, and I think exists on a plane. Like,
yeah, and then they're like, "What do? We better start with another festival."
Yeah,
and where you stand under like an arbor and scream the name of the love of your life.
Pretty
and
much.
It's like that's not a thing.
No, it's not a thing. And like, why would the circus come to town when there's like the biggest festival happening? I feel like it would be overshadowed or be like competing. Like, you can't have your carnival right now. We're having like the biggest festival ever.
The love festival is going on right now.
And the only reason we have this festival is, well, two reasons. One, we have to introduce the bell that doesn't exist.
Right.
And we have to give Quasimodo a love interest because
everybody was mad that he didn't get the girl.
Oh, Esmeralda didn't like him because he was ugly. It's like, no, Esmeralda fell in love with Phoebus. That's why. And he saw her as an angelic being, like the first person to accept him, like a friend. Like he loved both of them, and he made them hold hands, and then it was so sweet and beautiful. And then they're like, Quasi gotta get laid, so we're gonna make a 2. And then for some reason, everyone's really into him getting laid. So the carnival comes to town, and it's shady AF right off the bat. Like, the main villain is Discount Frollo.
Yep.
Except for loving God, he loves himself.
A lot.
What I found interesting was Frollo was a very religious man, and Sarouche is kind of like the polar opposite, like a heretic. Like,
yeah. Well, Frollo didn't
the
think he was evil. That's the whole point.
It's really his character's really intriguing.
It's interesting because it's like, here we have this super religious church going like madman in Frollo, and then you have like the not church bound like magician magic woo.
It does show like everything that Frollo stood against, but it's like that's the point of having the first one, because he stood against the wrong thing, and then the only redeemable thing he did was take care of Quasimodo, and even he did that crappy.
Yeah.
And it was his undoing because he fell in love with the gypsy girl for being hot and sexy, which made him go crazy. And so, like, Frollo didn't think he was evil, but this guy knows he's evil. He just loves himself. He's sassy. Evil. And they just like, oh, he's a fake guy because he wears a corset. It's like, you could have taken that whole character arc out of him being fake. He could have just been a sexy guy who loved himself and was evil. But no, it's like, he wears a corset because everything about him's fake, and he's a trickster, and blah, blah, blah. Magic's not real.
He's both secretly bald and secretly fat.
He's fat and bald and still loves himself. He loves his body, but not the way it looks, the way he makes it look. So what happens is, the festival's coming, Quasi doesn't have a date, but it's his job to ring the bell, and he's, like, bitching and moaning about how he doesn't have a date, no one loves him, except, he has friends and family now who love him.
And the whole town loves him, because from the first number, literally from the first recycled song.
Which is the same song.
It's the same song. Everybody's like, oh my god, Quasi's here, this is great, like, we're having such a great time.
He's finger gunning and, like, passing out pastries.
Like, they're singing this whole song together, and so, like, he's fully accepted as a human.
And, the whole point was, like, him to love himself, and then the first scene in this bell, which, by the way, the La Fidèle bell is the stupidest thing that he has to ring. How does he get it outside? Because it's inside, and then it's outside. And then you go underneath it, it's just gold and jewels and diamonds and stuff. It's like, oh, it's pretty on the inside.
It wouldn't even sound right.
Yeah, because it would hit the jewels. It would sound like ting. Like, they don't vibrate the same way metal does, which I didn't think of or put in my notes, so thank you for being here. But there's a part where Esmeralda, like, makes Quasi look at himself in one of the jewels, and he's reflected back as a normal-looking guy. Like, this is how you should see yourself, as, like, a normal-looking guy. It's like, no, you should accept your face and not keep wanting to be this reflection I'm showing you, because you're ugly. She's basically going like, this is why I didn't love you, but someone will, and she pats him and then leaves. Yeah, so La Fidèle is like the big thing, the reason the circus came to town, to steal it.
It's this weirdest concept, too, because it's like, okay, I get the bell has jewels on the inside for beauty on, accept beauty on the inside or whatever, but why not just put the jewels on the outside?
You could have taken the whole thing from stealing the bell away, and that would have been a better story to get Quasimodo a girlfriend, to just have her arrive in town for the festival, and then, like, see the bell and be like, oh, it's beautiful on the inside, even though it's normal on the outside, and then start to like Quasimodo based on this trait, and not have the secondary thievy part. And that would have been nicer. Would have been still stupid, but it would have been nicer.
It's like they started with that idea, and then decided, we want her to betray Quasimodo.
Yeah.
We need
So
conflict.
let's rewrite, let's put her as, like, a semi-villain.
She wasn't even, though. She's literally, like, it's foreshadowing the frickin' movie. So, like, when you first see her, she's on that tightrope, like, oh, I want to be a tightrope walker, but I'm just a pretty girl.
Like, weird. Like, what? Like,
it's like, why that?
Randomly just want to be a tightrope walker.
Just a tightrope walker. But she doesn't say she wants to be a tightrope walker. She says she wants to contribute more. She's like, I want to be in the show. I want to do things, but all she does is tightrope walking because that's all she's going to need to do later. Like, she doesn't need any kind of acrobatic skills except maybe to run on buildings. Oh, God. But let's get down. What was your next point in regard to this? Because I'm down to, like, the story premise is pointless and unneeded, yeah. Basic plot, same exact plot.
Yeah, I think same exact plot. No, I made, like, a note about Esmeralda's eyes because it really pissed me off. Like, on a whole nother level, like, how green her eyes are supposed to be because she's, like, so charming and, look in my eyes, and then it looks like she got...
Chelsea, while you're editing this, please put in a picture side by side of Esmeralda's eyes.
And then she got, like... colored in by Crayola for the sequel, which is awful.
Dude, her dance scene, though, too.
Let's see. I said the music is terrible.
It is.
The love song is so bad.
Oh.
And then this Stick With You song happens. Okay, so Zephyr, who is the child of Esmeralda and Phoebus, who actually do almost nothing. Like before, you know how like the whole movie there's like this great dynamic couple and they're just kind of like cool and now they're
really split too. So you saw what they were doing and you saw what Quas was doing and it was like, okay, everyone's got their own action.
And now they're just mom and dad and that's it. And then Zephyr starts singing about glue and and how I'm gonna stick with you and he falls asleep right after they sing about being closer than frack and frick,
which is the dumbest line ever. It doesn't make any sense. You could have picked literally peanut butter and jelly and it would have been better than frack and frick.
They might have said peanut butter and jelly.
I'm pretty sure they only chose that because it rhymed
with stick.
With
it rhymes with stick.
It's stick.
Yeah. But this is like that whole song was just to make her see that he's a good guy, even though if she asked literally anybody from before when they were singing about what a good guy he was, or, you know, stood around for 10 seconds, suddenly his face doesn't matter because he likes kids.
Yeah, she like runs away in fear from him like the first time she sees him, and then she watches him sing to a sleeping child and she's all of a sudden in love.
A sleeping child who is not his child. She does not see the parents anywhere. And he's like, we're just gonna be together forever. Yeah.
And she's like, this is great. This is such a great guy.
He's a great guy. He loves
this child.
He's grooming this child to be his best friend. Like, it's so weird. Like, why would that be the moment? Why wouldn't it show him, like, caring for the bells or, like, watch him around town and then interacting with the child with the parents present and then, like, it's such a badly written song, too. It has no place in the movie. It comes out of nowhere, too, because, like, you get that they're friends because he's friends with the parents, but, like, why would he specifically be friends with the child?
Yeah. They're so close. Like
so close. Like, the parents just leave this kid alone with strangers the whole movie. Yeah. He goes to join the fucking circus. Like, he just shows up. He's 5, by the way, because this takes place 6 years after the events of the original film, which means this 5-year-old child is running around Paris juggling balls and trying to join the circus. It's so weird.
And then it's like Middle Ages too, so it's like even like crazier because it's like.
And then they start talking again, and like when they start talking, like after he like gives the boy back to his parents, and they just like every time they talk, they just say dumb shit. They just say like the bell looks like a hat, hocus your pocus. Like, they think it's all just like weird sexual innuendo. Delusion, their illusion. Yeah. Like that, they don't even say words.
Don't know how to conversate.
They just, like, rhyme words with each other, and that's all they do.
We're so quirky. Like, no. Also, Madeline is immediately unlikable. Mm. Like, there is no... Like, I don't want her to win. I don't want her to love. I hate her
I don't want her
so
to
much.
love.
She just like, she's such a vanilla human being.
Yeah.
And they try to make her weird by like, oh, she rhymes sometimes. Oh, she wants to walk a tightrope. And it's like, she never does anything the whole time. She just exists next to Quasi to still look pretty. She just stands there and looks pretty, which is what she was trying to overcome.
On a side note, like, maybe they should have made her prettier than Esmeralda, but they didn't.
They didn't. Because they didn't want her to be too pretty. Because Quasi can't get a girl who's
It's
a 10.
that pretty.
He can maybe get like the 5 or 6 that she is. And no one's surprised. No one's like, wow, she likes it? Really? Like, the whole town's just like, yeah, Quasi! Go, Quasi!
Wasn't Phoebus the only one that,
Phoebus was the only voice of reason throughout this whole movie.
Yeah.
And Esmeralda shot his ass down every single time, even though there were no other gypsies in this movie. Except for that clown guy.
Yeah.
Is he a gypsy or is he a thespian?
Fuck if I
ooh,
know.
Clopin?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have no idea.
He's
I
the
mean, he was
jester
just
guy.
like a street performer, jester.
Yeah, I think he's a thespian.
Lesbian?
No,
Thespian.
Oh.
Not a lesbian.
He's a man.
A
I don't know.
I mean, he has a puppet.
I
but-
mean, theater people back then played both genders.
Yeah, but he's a man.
That's because women weren't allowed on stage.
Yeah, that's for different things.
Touche.
Yeah, which is also French. Also, another movie that I'm mad at because they're in
They're in
France.
France.
They're in France.
Why did I think Italy? France.
France.
And no one has a French accent. They didn't even say bonjour like they do in goddamn
Beauty and the
Beauty and the
Beast.
Beast.
The one French word they
That
say.
pisses me off too because they know what French is because Lumiere has a French ass accent. So he speaks French. Why doesn't anyone else in France speak French? I mean, I get it in Mulan. They're
White.
like, don't you speak Chinese? Because they're all speaking Chinese. But like, you're gonna pop a bonjour in there and call it La Fidèle. Like, you know what French is. Sorry, tangent. Where did everything in the church go, Tara?
Oh my god. Okay. All right. So like original. Let's go back to this shit illustration. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Future ChillC, please put another side by side from the first and second movie. Thank you.
so we have like in the first one, it's like ropes and there's like a shit ton of bells and like there's like it looks like a bell tower, you know, because that's where it is. And now it's just like a nice loft apartment with like a singular bell in there.
The bell.
The one bell that didn't exist in the first movie because it wasn't
There's
there.
a couple others.
There's
but,
like they're small,
but
like
yeah.
And not in every shot.
There's 10. There's supposed to be at least 10
yeah.
because that's how the real cathedral has real 10 bells.
But there's no ropes.
There's no
But-
ropes.
It's just a big room. It's a big empty loft apartment. That's like what it is now. It's not.
And he still
Right.
lives there and rings the bells. Even though he
It's-
doesn't
it
have
looks
to.
like a
Yeah, that's
storage
true.
space, not
it's
like
so-
a bell tower.
It's so big and empty.
You'd think they'd help him after 6 years kind of spice the place up. Maybe add a couch. Maybe add like a little like
He
maybe
has
even
the
a beanbag.
pillows.
He has like pillows and a fireplace. Don't they pay him to do this?
Speaking of which, there's a fireplace in like
Bell tower.
the bell tower.
That
Like,
they just light sometimes.
like what I don't understand is you have this huge cathedral. Why does Quasimodo have to still live in the bell tower?
Yeah, couldn't it
Like,
just be
I
his job?
Like I understand when he was under Frollo's not tutelage, but
Tutelage.
wardship or whatever, and cruelty like put him up there, but now he's free. Shouldn't he have like a house?
On a side note of that, can we talk about like quick villain exposition for
Oh,
just
yeah.
a hot second? So, you know, we see the unfolding in the first film where like now we just hear what's his name again?
Oh
Oh
hold
god,
on.
what's his name again?
He's such a forgettable
Ladouche.
character. Ladouche. Yeah. Yeah, go with that. Ladouche. Ladouche.
Who's just like has that scene with Madeline where he's like, you stole from me when you were 6 years old, and so you owe me, but also the whole world is mean, and I'm the only one that will take care of you, you thief. Which, like, Does it sound familiar to anybody else? The world being cruel and I'm the only one that will take care of
except
you?
not in
Yeah.
intense song form based on the murder of a mother and guilt for the action.
Right, no, it's just a casual, like, throwaway.
Yeah. You're 6 years old and capable of understanding you did a bad thing, but also you now work for me for life for free.
For free.
For free. And there's really no reason for her to be
Right, like, what is he gonna do? If she doesn't do everything that he says...
call her a thief.
Like, yeah.
Prove it. Even
Like-
when he goes to try and prove it,
Like,
he's like, I tried to stop her, but she's been a thief since she was 6. Okay, I believe you, man who had the jewelry in his room. I'm gonna go catch her and leave you alone now.
oh, like, really?
Fucking
Like,
Couldn't she
legit,
just,
Phoebus,
couldn't
get it
she just
together.
like fuck off and leave?
Yes,
Like it's
right.
a traveling circus.
Legit.
So when she's not tied down.
couldn't she just be like,
Like-
yo, Quasi, they're planning on stealing this bell.
So let's not leave? Like, I just, like...
Can you do your crazy ninja stuff? Because he's like, oh, we'll kill Quasimodo. It's like, have you seen Quasimodo? Dude is jacked. He rings giant bells by hand on
Like
his own.
swinging
all
on
day.
ropes.
No,
you know?
there's no more ropes anymore.
There's no more ropes. There's just
Oh,
the
yeah,
one
but-
rope, actually.
Just the one rope,
He-
actually.
Oh. But
If
he's
you
jacked.
look at him, his arms, he has not done a single leg a day in his entire life.
And just based on, like, how quickly they can form the troops there, you'd think maybe he'd be like, all right, let's go tell Phoebus and get, like, 100
Let's
guards
get
here
yeah.
in 10 seconds, which can be demonstrated by one of the last scenes where just Phoebus, Esmeralda, and I think Quasi and the chick go to find the bell, and then in the next tunnel, all of the guards are there.
If Madeline wasn't such a fucking idiot,
Yes.
there would have been no conflict. The whole conflict in the movie is she's just dumb.
She's dumb and doesn't listen and is scared of wigs. Like
She
that's
could have
the thing.
easily said, okay, I'm not gonna do this. I can just leave and he has no real control over me.
Yeah.
Tell Quasi his plans of stealing the bell.
Yeah.
Like, and then
I have
movie
something
over.
that ticked me off so freaking bad. The scene where she's like, oh, I'm gonna stand up to him. I'm gonna stand up to him. You remember? She's like, no, I like Quasi. He's a nice guy and I'm not doing this. And she gets off the tightrope.
Yeah.
He says his spiel to her, like, we'll kill Quasi. And then he walks backwards into the darkness of the tent. All dramatically. And she's at the door. And he just stands in the darkness of the tent like he disappeared, but she's at the exit. Like, or did you just like step into the shadow and wait for her to leave so you can leave dramatically? Did he go under? Like, it's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
It's supposed to play into his magic, like he disappeared into the shadows.
His
and
magic
he's
is not
gone.
real.
No, I know.
They show it's not real. Hold on, I
I
want to
know,
show you guys
but
the scene while you're talking about the
it's
fucking how they
supposed to be-
disappear the elephant, which two
It's
people carry.
supposed to be like him being all mystical and like drifting away into the shadows. What you don't see is him crouched in the shadow, waiting for her to leave.
Yeah.
He's like, now I'm stuck unless she leaves.
Oh, God.
Like, imagine if she was just like, oh, well, he's gone, so now I'm gonna pilfer through his things, and he has to stand there in hiding, waiting as she robbed him.
Oh my gosh, you should have robbed him.
Well, like, I just hate how they explained how the elephant disappears, and then
The elephant disappeared.
the elephant disappeared. It just fucking disappeared. But then they don't explain how they disappeared the bell. Because there's no trapdoor in the floor, like there was with the elephant.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
I have
like,
to
that's
find this.
just, like, why reveal that it was a fraud?
If you're gonna then need the actual magic to be real in order to steal the bell the way you need to steal the bell.
Right.
Like,
Where is it? It's gotta
Like,
be
I mean,
somewhere.
I would get it if you saw, like, a giant gaping opening in any of the rooms where he could just lower the bell
Okay.
down, but there's...
He says magic words.
yeah, that's what kills me, is he says magic words.
His
to
guys
get,
look at him like he's crazy.
His guys know that he's a fraud, so they roll their eyes when he's being all dramatic.
But then it's like,
But
oh,
then it
shit,
fucking works!
disappears.
I don't understand. And then it's on a boat. Like, how did they do that? Why does he break her umbrella? I'm sorry, I'm pulling the video up. There's literally no reason for her to break the umbrella.
He's like, I'm taking your tightrope walk
I don't think
away.
this is... Here it is. I don't think it's in English, but whatever.
Yeah, no, it's not in English on here.
Alright, so play. It doesn't matter if we can hear it or not. So this is the part. He comes into the tent.
Oh, you're right!
And
Oh my god!
She's at the exit! And it's for a long time!
Look at her facial expressions.
It's for a long time!
She turns around because she knows, like...
And then this is happening. There's no ropes.
Nope, he's just ringing the bells.
He's so happy. Oh, yeah.
He
And
cut all the
gargoyles.
ropes off to make it into his workout routine.
Oh. And then, like, the bells and fucking the gargoyles. So the gargoyles in the first movie made sense because he was in solitude. He didn't have any friends or people, so he made the gargoyles their friends. Why can she see and hear them? They're in his imagination. It shows him in the first movie moving them around and, like, being with them. Also, first 2 seconds of meeting her, he carves a doll in her likeness, which is creepy.
He's so in love with her.
Yeah.
Like, so instantly.
Like, very
It's
quickly.
fine.
And he's terrified. Terrified of her.
They're like, go get the girl.
But this is after they've met.
No.
No, this is...
But they meet here.
No, that's the first time.
Oh,
they
yeah,
meet.
the first,
That's
then
the
she
first
goes
time they
back.
meet.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's when she runs away from him because
That's
he's
when
ugly.
she pulls the shade to let the light and see him for the first time.
Censored. And this story actually had origins. Like, this had a background and some deep shit, like, and then they were like, he also needs a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Mm.
Alright, two guys carrying an elephant? That friggin' makes me so mad.
Okay, so
The
what
physics in it's so
their
wrong.
falling in love song. So like we already talked about how like awful this music was, but the
Yeah.
falling in love, that's awful. And then the raindrops on the tongues, and all of the townspeople just watching, like
Just
voyeurs,
being like, this
just
is
like,
nice.
isn't this great?
This
They're in
is
love,
nice.
like
Just in time for the festival that's also happening.
And then they're like scaling walls for fun because that's what you do on first dates is
Yeah.
scale
Is-
walls for fun.
Even though she
play
never said
real
she-
life Assassin's Creed and
Yeah.
just jump around from rooftop to rooftop.
Yeah, I know. She wanted to be a tightrope walker, but I guess she can be an acrobat too now for reasons. And also, what is with Quasimodo dragging her everywhere? Like,
Yeah.
he never
He-
lets go of her arm. He just
His
drags her.
absolute ham arms,
Like,
just like
King Kong! Just, this way! And then at the end of the movie, she tries dragging him, and he's like, stop it.
Don't pull me like
I don't
that.
like when you pull me. It's rude. This is Tinder Date the movie. Like, this is just a Tinder date that immediately went okay for some reason. Even though they didn't look like their profile picture, because the profile picture was the bell picture used in the first part. Everyone is shitting on Phoebus this whole movie too. Like,
yes.
like, okay, Carnival comes to town, people go to Carnival, people get robbed at Carnival, it's the carnies. This is like what you said about gypsies. This is exactly what you said about gypsies.
But he never said that about gypsies.
Ever.
Like, and she keeps being like, she goes, maybe you need to take another look like you did for me. And I'm like, bitch, he liked you the very first moment he saw you. Literally words, what a woman.
Yeah,
Like,
to his horse, who's also underplayed in this movie.
Super bad.
Oh,
or
man.
Achilles, just absolutely. And there's no puns in this film. I don't know if anybody remembers the good old classic Achilles, heel,
Yeah.
butt.
Like, subtle puns. They tried to do it with, like, the Hunchback and her, but it's just like, shut up.
Oh my god.
I never looked at it that way before. Because you're inside the bell. You can't,
You can't
see it
see
like
it
a
like
hat
that.
because it's on your head. You're a stupid man. You're a stupid man. You should be ashamed of yourself. Also, the whole, like, swap for, like, 2 seconds where it's, like, the gargoyles are really trying to hook him up and then he, like, starts getting hooked up and they're like, he's gonna be gone. JK, we're all about this.
We're so excited.
It's like, we don't need more of you. We don't need more of you. And then the festival itself. We're gonna skim over the ending part first and talk about the festival itself. Where, why?
Why we just yell names.
Yeah.
Like,
And then he rings
Pronounce
the
your
bell.
It's the day of love. So you pronounce your love.
but why?
Why?
Because
They just scream
because
it.
Valentine's Day wasn't invented yet.
Yeah, but Valentine's Day makes sense. I mean, it's a made-up holiday, but it makes sense. You don't just, to stand under an arbor and just be like, I love Esmeralda.
And also, she had to yell, I love Phoebus, and that is a terrible
Because
thing to yell.
out of all of the holidays and festivals or whatever, they didn't want to pick a real one.
They could have just had the carnival.
It
They could have
It
just
could have just been.
They
It
needed
could have
a
just
reason-
been a circus.
They needed a reason to have him, like, fall in love and then scream her name.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? They needed to be, like, they did at the very end. And then, do you know what I mean? They needed it to be like, we have love and you don't. Like, everybody in this town loves somebody and you don't. And if it was just the
Even
carnival.
the goat.
Even Jason Alexander, Gargoyle Jason Alexander being in love with a goat, it's fine.
It's like they made up this festival just so they could have a fancy bell for the villain to steal.
Which, his one
Yeah.
job, the whole movie, was like, I have to ring this bell. I have to ring this bell. And then Phoebus and Esmeralda go, I love them! And then there's silence, because they're up macking around the bell, and they don't even ring it, and then their kid pops out of bumfuck
Zephyr,
nowhere,
yeah.
and
Zephyr
starts
rings
ringing
the
the bell, and it's like, why do they keep leaving you alone? This is why you keep getting kidnapped.
Zephyr has like some hidden access knowledge to like secret tunnels and passageways.
Secret tunnel,
Because like he always pops in and out at like the randomest times.
Him joining the circus is like,
Yeah, like
you're 5!
how did it, like he wanted to join the circus. His parents said no, and then he just disappears and appears at the circus.
How did you get there? Who
Like
was letting this child?
they're either the worst parents in the history of France,
So, like,
or this kid is a genius.
well, then Esmeralda's like, so for the 4 seconds that she's like about to dance, and then like the great Esmeralda, like we remember when she danced, right? Like she danced in the first
Hold on,
movie.
wait.
Like fire, hellfire, ChillC, please put that in.
Okay.
So like she actually danced, and she was like a badass, and she whatever.
Yeah.
So
And she
now
fought.
she doesn't dance. She just has her tambourine and is like shake, 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 and then Quasimodo's like, Esmeralda, I need to talk to you right now. And then she like gives it to Zephyr in front of an audience of people.
Who
She's
came
like,
there to see her specifically.
right. She's like, watch my 5-year-old son dance instead.
Actually, I think it was a different, like a random blonde chick.
No, it
Are
was,
you sure
it
it
was
was
legit.
Zephyr?
Yeah,
Hold on.
I'm sure it was him. And so she like hands it to him and is like, go ahead, you take over. Which is when we get this wonderful quote from
Nice.
Quasi.
Oh yeah, do read the quote while I look for
Oh,
this.
hey, wait, let me find it. I feel wonderful, then awful, then wonderfully awful. And then Esmeralda responds with, that's euphoria. And it's like, bitch, that's not euphoria. I have fallen in love quite a few times, and I never felt like that.
Okay, also, I just found a live-action Hunchback of Notre Dame where Selma Hayek plays Esmeralda,
Yes.
and we need to take a peek at this. This is how Esmeralda
Ooh,
danced in the
girl.
first movie.
Get it?
Get it, girl.
That's because
this Phoebus?
is the
We should watch this.
We should watch this.
Hunchback of Notre Dame, 1997. Selma Hayek. Perfect Esmeralda. Wow. Okay, that was cool. And she, like, had this amazing character arc and conflict and power. None of the songs in the second movie have any power.
No.
It's flat, one note.
And I would be inclined to say that most of, like, the first one, honestly, most of the songs are, like, they're very sad. They're, like, they're very, like, it's such a dark film. And so they're sad. They're slower. There's not, like, anything that's really, like, bouncy and fun in the
Yeah.
first movie, but it's so compelling. But then, like, the second one is all just this, like, absolute bullshit.
Party, 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 blah, 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 love, love.
They
Love,
just
love,
they
love.
just basically
I'll stick
phoned it
with
in.
you.
They didn't have one single intense song.
No.
Actually, let's read the list of songs. I have them right here. So, Le J'adore
Oh my
Amour.
god, there's only 5 songs?
There's only 5 songs. Let me see how many songs are on the Hunchback. Hold on.
It's like they knew that this wasn't going to be shown in theaters, so they just didn't care.
They literally, okay, even this.
It's
looks
like,
better.
oh, we're not going to put any effort into this because this
here's
isn't
Mine.
going to be an embarrassment to us.
16.
Yeah.
16 songs, all of which are
3 times
amazing.
as money.
Bells of Notre Dame, killer. Out there, oh my god, when he hits that note, when he's like, unaware of the gift that it is to be them, it's like, topsy-turvy.
That's a fun song.
Trippy as shit. That is a fun song. Humiliation, I actually don't remember this one. God Help the Outcast, beautiful song. The Bell Tower. Hellfire, goddamn conic.
It's like my
Paris
favorite.
is Burning. That is so tense and like heart-wrenching. The Court of Miracles, Sanctuary, and He Shall Smite the Wicked, Into the Sunlight, where it like comes Pinnacle, Bells of Notre Dame Reprise, Someday, and God Help the Outcast. Bette Midler.
Hey, Bet.
Hey, Bet. You bet you're in here. Whereas this one has the Jour d'Amour, which is we're having a festival.
But it's the recycled. That is the one. It's just different words, but it's the same tune.
Yeah. An Ordinary Miracle, which is so disgustingly horrible it made my teeth shake. Where it's just Quasi singing, sometimes cool shit happens. Maybe to me. Possibly. It's
all this music is terrible.
I'd Stick With You is... It's
Glue.
Glue
Frick
song.
and Frack.
Frick and
Bad
Frack.
rhyming.
Frack and Frick, because it has to rhyme with
shit.
stick.
Sorry,
You
Frack and
almost
Frick.
ruined the whole song.
I almost
Tara.
ruined everything.
Fa la la la, fallen in love. Not falling.
No, that's so fallen.
Fallen in love. Like they did already.
Fa la la la. Fallen
in love.
in love.
I'm Gonna Love You. Madeline's love song, which I don't even remember.
I don't
No,
either.
I don't
I don't remember that at all. The last song I
Wait, the
remember.
title. I'm gonna love you.
The last song I remember is the Fallen in Love song.
Like it was
Yeah.
like it's a choice.
What is I'm Gonna Love You, Madeline's song? I don't remember
I don't
her
remember that
singing.
either.
No, I don't remember this.
I do not remember this. Did she sing?
Yeah, she sings.
I don't know.
Like as a human she sings.
Yeah.
But like I don't know.
Oh, it's one of the. She didn't sing it in the movie.
Oh my god. So
She's-
there's 4 songs in
There's
this
There's
movie.
4 songs in the movie, and they recorded one just to put out an album.
Yeah, for Jennifer Love Hewitt. They're
soundtrack?
like, Jen, do you wanna
Why did they take one of the best singers included in the movie and not give her a song?
This was the credits.
This was the credits.
This was the credits.
Oh my god. How did they do you like that, girl? Like, there's so many ways for that.
I do remember that song because it's the credits song.
I cannot believe that. They... Wow. That is hurtful. I'm so upset about that. Look at all these people you had voiced, and you came up with 4 crap, forgettable,
4.
bland, powerless songs.
Garbage.
Oh my god, I hate this movie so much.
Like I said, they didn't care. It was just an easy money grab. Yeah.
Where did the gargoyles get his outfit? Did they go to the store? Do they have people money?
They sewed them.
The only thing that could have possibly this is not Cinderella, which we'll get into in
They had to have told Esmeralda or whatever.
because they're figments of his imagination. So what he did was he went to the store, he bought the outfit, and then made them surprise him with it with his imagination. Because that's what he says they is. Imagination. And he wears a cape. They couldn't even give Quasi a cool outfit.
No.
Like,
it was a cool outfit at the time.
no, it wasn't, because no one else was fucking wearing these outfits.
Yeah, because he was wearing that, and he was like, how do I look? And everybody was like, giving the eyes.
Yeah, no, it's not cool for the period.
It's a rich person outfit, which even makes less sense.
Yeah.
Like, if you notice, the hat kind of reminded me of Frollo's hat a little. So it's like he's parodying, the first villain.
He gets all like dressed up for her.
Yeah.
And it's like, literally all she did was like go up into your bell tower, get scared, run away, and everybody's like, "Oh, is that your girlfriend, Quasi?"
Your girlfriend. That's the girl you like, even though she got scared and ran away. Oh, and then when he gives her the doll and says, "This is how I see you." And it's like, faceless and your skirt is much shorter. Like, he's like, I don't see you walking, I didn't carve you walking a tightrope. I carved you in like a sexy outfit.
That's why she keeps saying Quasi sees more, and I'm just like,
What,
What are you
though?
talking about?
He didn't say anything, and then he's pissed at her because he thinks she betrayed him, even though that makes no sense. And then they let her out to solve the problem.
Oh my god, no.
Well,
When he gets
'cause she
upset,
thought she was just
because
using
when
him.
I get upset, I also pick flowers, petals off, and then rub them.
I rubbed the flowers out of my sadness. But the flower was for her.
Because he picked the petals
And it's
and
like,
then he rubbed them.
well, I don't understand
Like,
why
for good
pick why pick the petals? It was like, oh,
It was so weird. It was like she loves me, loves me not.
love me not.
But then he just got
Loves
sad.
me,
Then he just got sad and
loves
started
me.
rubbing them
He
instead.
gave up.
Yeah,
Well, because it landed on "Loves Me Not," and then he didn't want to pick the petal.
yeah.
All right, so now I think the final thing we really have to talk about is how they saved Zephyr,
Oh my-
which is Tara's favorite part of the movie.
Okay. All right. Okay. So
Okay.
So they're like, have all the men there, and they're like in the little underground river thing, and they're like, give me my son back, or we'll kill you. And he's like, all right, I'll kill your son, though, because I kidnapped him because he tried to join the circus. So he holds him up, he's like, I have him, and he Simbas him in the air, and he's like, I have him, let me go pull the gate up. Right, which if you are really magic, because you must be really magic, because you magically store a bell, I don't think that the, like, gate was really going to stop people, whatever. Anyways, so they pull the gate up, and Madeline's like, Quasi, untie me. I can save him. And they lock eyes for like a solid 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then he unties her and then they go try to save him. So they're past all of the guards and Phoebus and Esmeralda. And so like the boat is going with the villain. And he just continues to Simba Zephyr in the air for no reason, because there's nobody he's trying to impress anymore. He's just gonna hold you up here. And then,
Within grabbing reach.
I win!
Right.
Look at me winning! Ah!
and so then I don't even. How do they do that rope?
She
Honestly, because she
all of a
has the
sudden
rope.
has
Like, where the
an
fuck
arrow.
did the rope come from?
It might be the one she was like tied with or
Oh
something.
yeah, but there's
like,
no way that's long enough to go across a
But
lake.
they don't tie you. They don't tie you with 30 feet of rope around your wrists.
They do in this movie.
And then like, how was it? Like, what did it hook on to on the other side?
I'm pretty sure there was an arrow that suddenly came to be. There was some kind of. Hold on, let me
Okay.
find it.
Wait, because I'm wondering how it got stuck on the other side.
That's another thing. Like, do these movies not realize that like crossbows and arrows existed in 1508?
Why didn't they just shoot him
Like
with
they
the
could
arrow?
have. All the guards could have had crossbows
So
and
like,
just shot
because
them.
because somehow it's stuck to the other side of the thing, and then Quasi's holding the rope, and then because she's been practicing her tightrope walking, Madeline
Twice.
two whole times. Madeline tightrope walks and ducks down. Oh, she falters for a minute, but then remembers that Quasimodo believes in her, so she stands up straight, and then she grabs the still being Simba'd 10 minutes later Zephyr from what's his face, LaDouche, and
LaDouche.
gets the kid back and saves him, and then the bad guy doesn't have leverage anymore, and he is caught.
Yeah.
There's nothing like talent that gets better when someone else believes in it.
Yeah, because you know what could have
I'm
also...
shitty at tightrope. Oh, but someone believes in me,
But
so now I'm an
Quasi-
expert.
Right, and if he's not holding that rope tight enough,
Right, let's see.
did his arms get
He
hairier?
will
Yes.
always hold that, like, his arm, he has gorilla arms.
His arms got hairier though, for sure.
Okay,
or maybe
so-
it's just like bad hair drawing because
There's-
it's just lines now and
Here
not
we
like
go.
actual
So
animation.
now they have
Oh
a
my-
shit ton of rope.
Guys, this is so awful.
Not explain.
Oh, he just lassos
He
it?
lassos
He
a rock.
lassos
Onto a
it
rock.
onto a rock.
That would not hold. This would pull her away. The rock is not steady. Why?
Falter.
Oh
Like,
no!
talk
it's
about
red.
some-
She
And
would
here it
fall.
is, Simba.
Simba.
Talk about some convenient, like, rocks.
Yeah, legit.
You know?
And convenient rope for that matter.
And also,
Well, yeah, I know. Like,
and also,
and
hold
he
on.
looks. Wait, go back to Quasimodo. He looks like he has no holding that with no effort or
Well,
tension.
He is ripped.
Yeah, but there's no he's like the way he's holding it. There's no
She would
tension
be
to
dipping.
it.
His nose and his mouth looks like a whole nother face.
Yeah, it looks like he was separated. Also, let's watch this part real quick. She looks down. The boat is now here, but she doesn't go down to get him until 2 minutes later. The boat...
It's 2 minutes later?
Yeah. Here. Oh, wait, no, it's like 50... It's like a minute later. It's like a full minute of her standing while the boat goes 2 inches.
It's just being really slow.
Yeah, see? Now, still moving boat.
Still Simba-ing the child.
Still something, and boom.
Just so
What?
that I can grab him easy peasy.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's in him.
Sitting.
Standing.
How why? How why? Why would she just not stay sitting? She doesn't have to do this. Also, how'd she get back with a child when she could barely stand on her own?
Legit. Now we can attack the bad guy.
Which they do. Instead of just arresting him, they just kind of like start
Hog pile.
pummeling him until he's
Absolute
like
hog pile on him.
Lots of eye staring too, like a lot of face close-ups and eye staring. What did these two do? They were-
Secret fact,
Well,
secret
okay,
vault.
just stop right here. What I don't understand is why the fuck did they cut open his girdle?
and
He's
take his
still
hair
wearing
off.
his shirt, so they cut it through his tunic and took off his wig. Like that, I get
They
it.
did a
They
strip
exposed him
search.
as a
Yeah.
fraud, but
Strip search. You
They
can put your clothes back on.
but not your girdle.
Not your
because
girdle,
Not
because
your
you're
girdle.
fat.
embarrass you. And then the festival happens, and their background animation is so. Hold on,
It's so terrible. Look at those flowers. It's so terrible.
look at it's like everything's fuzzy.
it's muted.
There's repeated people.
Well, that's typical with every crowd.
Yeah, but like,
I mean,
They're
I'm
all
pretty
doing, like, the
sure,
same-
some
Oh,
movies use.
how did the bell get out here? This was not here. This was not here.
Okay, so back to the bell in this scene. Where the hell did the scaffolding to hold it up come from?
That's what I just said.
Maybe he built it.
Why would they build it just for this? one
That looks
festival?
like an Italian cookie, though. That window looks like an Italian cookie. But like, and then
no
they-
one else is important.
Yeah,
Oh, God, this movie's garbage.
it's really bad.
I mean, even like, look how intense this scene is from the first one. Not the ad. The ad is
The
not
ad.
intense. Like, the first person to understand him, the first person to be on his side, is now laying there possibly dead.
I know he
And
comes
there's
off
real pain.
He comes off really whiny in the second one.
In the same way, not only is he whiny, he's so shallow and two-dimensional. Like, because he doesn't make any kind of active attempt to meet people or meet women or try and get a girlfriend.
Right,
It's
he's
just like,
it's
the
I'm
first
owed.
pretty chick he
They-
sees.
They cut out his entire personality.
And this too.
just harped him on.
You almost sympathize with the villain for a second because he's like, I told you this shit would happen. Like, you know he's bullshitting, but... Oh, and he throws the knife down immediately because he doesn't want to be that person! Oh, the first movie's so good! Oh, it's so good. It's such a good movie, and then they made this garbage.
The
This
first
hot,
one is
flaming garbage.
deserving of the Disney name. The
Yes.
second one,
Is
I
a
mean-
throwaway. Oh, I have to go watch Hunchback now. Again.
the first
Yeah,
one,
the
yeah,
first one, yeah. Just like try to erase the effects
Yeah.
of the second one.
Dude.
I mean, why is it that all Disney sequels are just hot garbage?
I
They're
mean,
really bad.
I'm trying to think of one. Think of one. I mean, Frozen 2? Even that annoyed me.
I didn't see Frozen 2.
Frozen, yeah,
Did you
Frozen.
watch
Oh,
Frozen?
Frozen
Yes,
2
I
is
watched
probably
Frozen.
the best sequel because it was the only sequel that went to the theaters. Like, they put effort into it.
I don't know though.
Lion King 1.5 is hot. I love it.
Yes,
Well-
Lion King 1.5. Not the second one.
No.
No, Lion King 1.5.
See, that was different because
It's a different perspective.
that wasn't an actual sequel. It was the same movie, just a different.
I thought that was really cool.
It was
what they did.
great.
I
That was
thought
a
that was a
good
really
idea.
good idea.
That was a good idea.
It was so funny too. It was so brilliant.
But it just seems like every single one was like, oh, we need to make a sequel because we're greedy Disney. We need to
Because they
make
don't
money.
make enough money.
Dude, we'll
Yeah.
talk about other sequels in another podcast. Let us know what your least favorite Disney sequel is. Did you like Hunchback of Notre Dame too? If you did, what's wrong with you? I'm sorry, I shouldn't insult people, but what's wrong, honestly? I think we're gonna do Mulan 2, definitely, and then Cinderella 2 and 3. Did you know there's 3 Cinderellas?
I think there is actually a fourth one.
Is there a fourth one?
Isn't there like a...
It's like Royal Engagement or something. It's like a side story. Beauty and the Beast has one too.
Oh yeah,
Enchanted
the like, winter
Winter.
one. Yeah, that one. I would not watch that. I don't consider that a
Isn't
sequel.
doesn't the Little Mermaid have like a bunch?
Little Mermaid 2 actually was not horrible.
I actually hated
it's-
Little Mermaid too.
Yeah, I didn't like, because the entire movie didn't have to happen if they just had a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, one conversation. Like, why am I so drawn to the sea? Well, I mean, it might sound crazy, but I used to be a mermaid, and it's really dangerous for you to go in the sea. Oh, I get it. You can swim in the swimming pool that we can afford because we live in a mansion. Thanks, Ma. Fucking, that's it. Cinderella 2. We were talking about how that movie, the first one, shouldn't exist. Tara disagrees with me, but I don't disagree with me.
I like Cinderella. I didn't say like Cinderella too.
Well, no, the first Cinderella as well.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like.
Yeah.
Classic.
It's not. It's so useless.
And
of a
then
movie.
you got Rodgers and Hammerstein's like Cinderella. And you got Brandy. She's cool. Bernadette Peters. She rocks.
But the prince talks to her, sees her face at the ball, looks for her shoe. Instead of making a poster that he can afford to make because he's a prince, and
A
being
shoe
like,
that shouldn't even exist in the first place.
well, it's magic, which she said
Oh,
doesn't
well,
work after midnight, but it does
I
for
mean,
shoes.
selective.
shoes.
Why not leave her something
Well, I think
nice.
that maybe it's because like all the other stuff is like made from stuff that exists already, and the shoes were kind of like
She was wearing shoes.
magically appeared.
Wait, was she
out of-
wearing shoes?
Magically
I
appeared
think
out of nowhere.
I think her shitty slippers turned into the glass ones,
Hmm.
didn't they?
Why glass slippers?
No, I just watched the when I just watched the
that
other
must be
one.
an
They
uncomfortable-
like she slipped off her other shoes and then she made different shoes. Like she was barefoot.
There is one. I think in the Disney one, the cartoon one,
Glass
she
shoes
doesn't have
just
shoes on.
sound so
They're surprisingly
uncomfortable.
comfortable,
Yeah.
according to Fairy Godmother. But yeah, no, I mean, I guess, but her shoe falls off in the cartoon 3 times. So once when she's walking upstairs to deliver breakfast, which is kind of foreshadowing the whole deal. Once when she's running away from the party, and then once when she's getting married, falls off again. So it's like, bitch, maybe they aren't the right size shoe because they
So-
keep falling off.
Did the fairy godmother make that shoe just a slightly bit bigger?
Maybe she did it on purpose.
Maybe she did it on purpose because people don't have facial
Or,
recognition. and
maybe one
is
of-
the shoe sentient?
Maybe one of
Sentient
her feet
Like-
is slightly smaller than the other foot, so
like-
she made them the same size, but the one that falls
No,
off is...
But then why
here's
did
a
she say
theory:
it
the
fits
shoe
perfectly?
is a sentient being that makes itself bigger so it slips off her foot.
So it's the brave little toaster. Like, it's just my shoes.
There
are
should be
sentient.
a shitty side movie about the
Oh my-
adventures of the glass slipper.
There's one adventure.
Guys, there is a article that I just found that's every Disney direct-to-video sequel, prequel, and midquel ranked.
Oh, we're gonna go through that.
We're gonna have to go through that.
We're gonna have to. All right. So for now, we have been going for it looks like an hour. That'd be perfect for a podcast, I assume. So let us know. Do you agree with what we said? Do you disagree? Do you like Hunchback of Notre Dame? You don't like Hunchback of Notre Dame too? You don't. I don't care what you say. You don't. No one does. I do not care. Let us know what other movies or sequels you want us to take a look at. I think the next one we're gonna do is Mulan 2. So Tara, get watching that horrible movie.
Horrible movie.
But yeah, no, those are our opinions, those are our thoughts, our feelings. We'll be back with more of those at a later time. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what you think. And until next time, we'll be around. Ciao, kittens.
Later.